Jesus, a man loved by many, was betrayed by one of his own disciples, Judas. Judas led the Roman guards to Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. There, Judas kissed Jesus on the cheek as a sign to the guards. Jesus was arrested. The guards took Jesus to the Jewish leaders. The leaders accused Jesus of claiming to be the Son of God. Jesus did not deny their claims. He knew who he was and what he came to do. The Jewish leaders wanted Jesus dead. They saw him as a threat to their power. However, they needed the Roman governor Pontius Pilate to approve the death sentence. Pilate questioned Jesus but found no fault in him. He offered to release Jesus, but the crowd, urged on by the Jewish leaders, demanded Jesus' death. Pilate washed his hands, claiming innocence, and handed Jesus over to be crucified. The Roman soldiers mocked Jesus. They beat him and placed a crown of thorns on his head. They forced him to carry his own cross, a heavy wooden beam, to a hill called Golgotha, the place of the skull. Jesus struggled under the weight of the cross. He was weak from the beatings and lack of food and sleep. A man named Simon from Cyrene was forced to help Jesus carry the cross. Jesus was surrounded by people. Some mourned him and cried out in sorrow. Others mocked and insulted him. His disciples followed, heartbroken, unsure of what would happen next. Despite the pain, Jesus continued to love those around him. He spoke words of comfort to the women who wept for him, showing his compassion even as he suffered. At Golgotha, the soldiers nailed Jesus to the cross. They crucified him between two criminals. Above his head they placed a sign that read, "Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews." Crucifixion was a brutal and agonizing death. As Jesus hung on the cross, he endured unimaginable physical pain. Yet, his greatest pain was not physical, but emotional and spiritual. From the cross, Jesus cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" These words reveal the depth of his suffering. He bore the weight of the world's sin upon himself. Jesus' followers stood at the foot of the cross. Among them were his mother Mary and the disciple John. Jesus, in his final moments, entrusted his mother to John's care. As darkness fell over the land, Jesus cried out one last time, "It is finished." He breathed his last breath and died. The earth shook, and the curtain in the temple, separating the Holy of Holies from the rest of the temple, tore in two from top to bottom. Section 4, Silence Falls, the Burial and the Watchful Wait. After Jesus died, a man named Joseph of Arimathea, a secret follower of Jesus, asked Pilate for his body. Pilate granted permission. Joseph, along with Nicodemus, another follower, took Jesus' body down from the cross. They wrapped Jesus' body in linen cloths with spices, as was the Jewish custom for burial. Then they laid him in a new tomb that Joseph had hewn out of rock in a nearby garden. A large stone was rolled in front of the tomb's entrance. The chief priests, fearing that Jesus' disciples might steal his body and claim he had risen, asked Pilate to post guards at the tomb. Pilate agreed, and the guards were stationed, sealing the tomb. For 3 days, all was quiet. Jesus' followers mourned his death, their hopes crushed. The world seemed dark and hopeless. Little did they know that something extraordinary was about to happen, something that would change the course of history forever. Section 5, He is risen, the empty tomb and the hope of humanity. On the third day, early in the morning, Mary Magdalene and some other women went to the tomb to anoint Jesus' body with spices. As they approached, they were surprised to find the stone rolled away from the entrance. They entered the tomb but found it empty. Jesus' body was gone. Suddenly, 2 angels in dazzling white robes appeared. "Why do you look for the living among the dead?" they asked. "He is not here. He has risen." The women ran to tell the disciples. At first, the disciples did not believe them. Peter and John ran to the tomb to see for themselves. They found the linen cloths lying there, but Jesus' body was gone. That very day, Jesus appeared to Mary Magdalene and then to 2 disciples on the road to Emmaus. He appeared to all of his disciples, proving that he was alive, not a ghost. He had conquered death. The resurrection of Jesus is the cornerstone of the Christian faith. It demonstrates that Jesus is the Son of God and that his death and resurrection have power over sin and death. Because Jesus lives, Christians believe in eternal life, knowing that death is not the end, but a new beginning.